this is Devin Billiou,
Ryan Weinberg,
Mark Gilly,
and Eli Doherty
on NC News Network. Today we will go over the topic of nuclear energy. The main question today is, what are the positive and negative effects of this energy? There are many negative effects, such as nuclear waste, bombing, meltdown risk, but there are some positives, like clean, sustainable energy. Ryan is going over the main topic of nuclear energy, Eli with the history, Mark with the weaponry, and I'm going over the energy production. Now we'll head over to Ryan with the topic of nuclear energy.
Hi, I'm Ryan Weinberg with the topic of nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is the energy in the center or nucleus of an atom. An atom is the tiny particles that make up the universe. Each atom has a large amount of energy that can be exploited with fission and fusion. Fission is the splitting of two atoms, and fusion is the bonding of two atoms. Once exploited, we can use that to power nuclear power plants or use it in a nuclear weapon. Now we go to Eli with the history of nuclear energy.
Thanks, Ryan. I'm Eli Doherty here with the history of nuclear energy. It all started in 1898 when the Curies first discovered radioactivity. This is an important milestone in nuclear energy because all nuclear energy uses radioactivity. Many years later, in 1938, scientists Hahn and Strassmann discovered fission. A few years later, Fermi and Slizzer theorized a chain reaction was possible. A few years later again, in 1942, scientist Fermi achieved a nuclear chain reaction, proving his theory was correct. In 1945, the first nuclear weapon test was successful. This proved that nuclear weapons could be used. In the same year, two nuclear weapons were shot at Japan, Fat Man and Little Boy, annihilating the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, ending World War II. A few years later, again in 1951, the ERV-1 electric fission reactor was created and powered 4 light bulbs using 1 megawatt. Again, a few years later, the ERV-2 reactor was created and is what we use today to produce electricity. Now we go to Devin.
Thanks, Eli. I'm Devin Billiou with the positive and negative effects of nuclear energy production. This is the process of which nuclear energy is created. First, a single neutron, a subatomic particle that is located in the nucleus of an atom, is accelerated to almost the speed of light, set on a collision course with a highly unstable radioactive isotope, usually uranium. An isotope is an atom that has more neutrons in the nucleus than what would occur naturally. The neutron then collides with the nucleus of the isotope, therefore splitting it. The split atom sends off fission fragments, which are other isotopes, still unstable but not nearly so, and other neutrons are sent off, causing a chain reaction, splitting other atoms. This process creates heat, which is directed into a cooling agent, which is usually water, which steams. The steam then rises, turning turbines or generators to generate electricity, and then is released into the atmosphere after cleaned in through exhaust columns. Positive effects of this process are that no greenhouse gases are released into the atmosphere. Greenhouse gases are methane, nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, and ozone. Another positive effect is that this process creates clean, sustainable energy. The negative effects of this process are that nuclear waste has to be cooled before being deposited into a waste plant. Another negative effect is that there is also radioactivity that could be released into the atmosphere as a result of this process. Now we'll move on to Mark with the weaponry of this topic.
I'm Mark Elliott, and I'll be discussing the topic of nuclear weaponry. Nuclear weaponry is thought to be a bad topic in the world, but I can show you the positive and negative effects of it. Positive effects include it's a great argumental tool and also can stop wars before they begin. Negative effects are the chance of a nuclear fallout. A nuclear fallout is where everyone launches their nuclear weapons and it destroys the whole world. Fusion is where they combine atoms and it causes a great deal of energy. Fission is where they split atoms and that causes a great deal of energy as well.
As you can see, nuclear energy has many positive and negative effects, mostly positive though. Some of the negative effects are bombing and weaponry. But there are many more positive effects. Positive effects include clean, sustainable energy, large amounts of energy, no greenhouse gases, and powering whole cities. This is Ryan Weingarten
Mark Elliott,
Devin Billiou,
And Eli Doherty.
on NC News. See you next time.